Welcome to Cuelist Tutorials. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about the printed view. This will be a relatively short tutorial because printing is pretty straightforward with Cuelist, and there's really not a lot you need to adjust in order to get your script printed. Okay, first things to understand: we're here in a script, and we've got some cues on page 9. We have a page with a ground plan, and we've done some annotations on that page 9A, and then we've got some cues and some notes on page 10. And those are the three pages that we're really going to concentrate on today. The first thing and probably most important thing to understand is that Cuelist is going to export your script as a PDF, and it's going to do it as an 8.5 by 11 in portrait mode here. So when you have cues that are in the margin view, and you can see here because we've flipped the toggle switch to move our cues to the margin view, they will not be able to stay in the margin view for printing. So when we go to actually print the script, the cues are going to look like what it looks like when the margin view is turned off. And that's important just to make sure that you don't have cues covering important text on your script. Now, if you do happen to have cues covering text, there's a few different things you can do. The first is you can go in and change the cue size. You can shrink the cue size cue by cue, or you can shrink the entire layer of cues. You can also get rid of the label if you don't need that, or specifically don't need that on a cue. In addition, you can click here on the untethering cues, grab that cue and move it somewhere that isn't covering it, and then it'll print in that position. So there's lots of ways to avoid having your cues over the top of any important text. But otherwise, what you see on the page is going to be what is exported to PDF. So when you're ready to export your script, you're just going to go up here to the toolbar and you're going to press the print icon. When you do that, it's going to take you to a new tab on your browser, and you're going to see Cuelist doing some behind the scenes work. Now, this really is the browser's print function. And so depending on the browser, depending on the complexity of the script, depending on your computer processing, it may take some time to get this fully exported. Now, what you see here is a new view of your script. And unlike in Cuelist proper, where we have to arrow from page to page, this view, which is a static view, we can now look at by just scrolling down on the page. And we can see everything is exported, and we're seeing what this is going to look like in print view. Now, you can't see the pagination, but you can see what the script is going to look like. It's important when you're in this phase of printing that you do a quick check to make sure that everything that you expect. So what I'm really saying is look toward the end of the PDF and make sure all of the cues have exported. Sometimes it takes a little extra time for cues to export. So you want to check through the script and make sure all the cues are exported. Once the cues are exported and you feel comfortable with that, you're just going to go up to the corner here and hit the print button. And once again, it's going to render the script. And again, this is going to take some time depending on your computer and the complexity of the script. Now we can scroll through, see the pagination, and see exactly what our printed view of the script is going to be. And from here, this is just a browser printing. So we can make the choice to change our destination to save as a PDF. You could print to an actual printer. You can do what you like to get it exported. I always recommend that you export your script to a PDF just to have a backup copy at the end of every project. So really this should be a normal part of your process, but then you can have a PDF copy that should look exactly like your Cuelist copy, and you can use that to call the show. You can use that as a reference. You can use it for portfolio, whatever you like. It's very available. From there, all you got to do is hit print, and that is going to turn your script into a PDF or print it directly to your printer. One last thing to mention, every browser print function works slightly differently. So if you're having a problem, say with Google Chrome, we always recommend Firefox. Firefox tends to be very responsive when it comes to printing, but really Google Chrome has been fine as well. So just check your browser specifications and be willing to kind of look at different browsers if you continue to have problems, and reach out if there are any other issues. Okay, that's it on printing. Thank you for watching.